All right, it is time for Flip and Friends. We got a great show. We got the former co-host of the Flip here with us, but we'll get into that in a second.
We got extra friends this week.
Extra friends this week, especially because something, if you watch if you listen to Dean Davis' show, something that had been talked about throughout the show, at least for the last year and a half, actually took place. So we had to get on that and find out. He's doing his hair like that. Yeah, that's what happens when you're not sacked up. You start losing your brains. I'm Kenneth Davis. Follow me at That's Davis. You know the executive producer of this show and That Davis Show is Ryan Bukovetsky. Follow him at Ryan B. Ski 1 on Instagram and Ryan B. Ski on Twitter. Of course, you have a contributor to We Are Riga Radio and one of the hosts of Second City Sports, Sydney Brown here. Follow him at Sid Kid 80. We have Damar Spruill back in the house.
Yay! I wish we would have had everybody's Twitter handles up when I was doing the show. It would have been a lot easier for me. I didn't remember.
But you know what? I never use them. I don't look at them when I'm doing it.
And you weren't on StreamYard, sir. You came a little bit earlier on.
Before my time.
So we got Damaz here, my former co-host and brother in arms. Follow him at Damaz1. And last but not least, we have Jason Kestner. Follow him at JF Kestner. All right, guys. Good to see everybody. Hope you all had a great holidays. Mine's kind of sucked, to be honest with you. I was just missing my brother. So it was just one of those type of situations. But I hope everybody had a great holidays. As D gave for the holidays, and that given, of course, was a sack. So D.
like Santa.
Let's jump into this. Jamaz has said that he was going to get snipped for years now. Hit us during the text and was like, hey guys, I'm going to do it on the 23rd. Was it 23rd when you got this done? It's the 23rd. I'm going to get it done on the 23rd. Went in there and hey, the boys, they shooting blanks right now. So tell us about the procedure.
Whoa. They're not shooting blanks right now.
Oh, you got to wait until you can.
I got to flush out the system. I got to flush it all out first.
How long does it take to wait? So they tell you, go beat your beat.
Now, normally that takes a day, but for someone like you,
hey,
Chanel knocking on the door. He said, I'm doing what they told me to do now. You know what they told me.
He just slides back a medical note under the door.
So how long do they say it takes to clean out the system, dude?
Well, I have to give 3 negative tests.
Okay.
Not tests. I'm sorry. Samples. It's like I'm talking about COVID.
No, yeah. They gave you something.
Trying to get pregnant?
They gave you. Now the test, you don't have to go back. They gave you something that you can test this yourself.
No. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. I had to give some samples, so I do have to take them back. So we gave me like some of those, like little clear jars. It's like, hey man, just do what you got to do. Bring it back.
Got to be clear. Like everybody's got to know your business. They can't just.
Well, they gonna know. They already know my business. Man, they ain't seen it.
Ryan wants stoneware clay pottery.
A nice design of
elegance and private.
Yes. No. So I had to give 3 negative samples. The first sample, they always say like, man, it's gonna be positive. We said by the time the third one, it should be negative. He said, but. He's like, listen, it is a chance, like it's like 1% chance. Listen, man, the human body wants to be able to do what it needs to do. There has been times where it reconnects. So
what's disconnected? So break that down.
Oh, so basically they go in and it's just like little tubes, basically.
They go in. I thought they didn't have to go in. I thought they could just like grab it from the outside and do like they actually.
No, they cut you open.
Ooh, Lord.
And then the way now shout out to Dr. Ofujifor, the brother, straight from Nigeria. I felt good. I was like, this African brother's gonna take care of my African brother.
You know that's gonna be used in some voodoo. They're like, you got the next set of balls for the ritual.
A big brother came in. I said, all right now. Okay, So anyway.
Did they burn? Because my other friend who got the snip said that they burned it.
No, I don't think. I did not. You know what, man? Listen. Okay, let me break it down. So basically, you go in. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. So the consultation. So I had a male nurse. Doesn't matter, He was like, okay, so this is what you got to do before you come. He said, what you're going to do, you want to make sure everything's clean down there because you want the doctor to be able to see what's going on. I said,
Got to shave.
All right, smooth as eggs. So he said, first you got to get that clear. First you got to clean it up. He said, also too, man. So we're going to give you, you got to get a prescription. One is like,
Go Light?
Huh?
You got the Go Light stuff to clean out your.
No, none of that. No,
okay,
no,
I'm sorry.
No, not that. So you get like a pill, basically, kind of like a what was it? It was basically something that kind of make you drowsy, whatever like that. Kind of, so you take like an hour before you supposed to have the procedure, right? But they also tell you got to get this cream. I said, all right. He said, oh, okay, so what's the cream? He said, so basically the cream is to make sure everything's kind of like not numb, but it kind of gets you ready before you come in. He said, I'm gonna tell you what you want to do. You want to put some saran wrap around your balls because it's real creamy and you don't want it to get on your drawers. So I'm looking at this dude like, are you joking with me right now? He was like,
"Oh, man. Said, fuck this shit."
I'll have another kid. I don't care.
I'm like, saran wrap? He's like, yeah. He's like, get some saran. I'm telling you, man, it's creamy. You know, so it's like cream. You don't want to get all wet in your your boxes, man. You don't walk around like that. You won't, sweaty balls in your boxes. I'm like, all right. So the day before the procedure, I'm like, damn, I don't have any saran wrap. And Chanel was like, well, you can get a Ziploc bag or something. I was like, so I'm
like an actor on set with that sock thing.
Merkin.
So I'm like, all right, I'm looking, I'm like, no, I thought we had saran wrap. So we got this like shrink wrap stuff. And I'm like, you think that'll work? And she's like, yeah, try it. So I tried it. So I got like the shrink wrap stuff. And I just what happened? So I okay. So basically, so he put the cream on and I got the shrink wrap and I just wrapped them around them, and I got it nice and tight. And I went there and we started the procedure. So basically, they laid down and he took all that off, whatever like that. So he's like, okay, strip everything down, keep your shirt on.
Wait, do they take off the saran wrap or do you take off the saran wrap?
I take it off myself.
Okay, I just want to know it's part of the service.
Sir,
would you like us to take it off?
Let's unwrap you. So then I basically basically, get naked, whatever like that. And keep your shirt on, whatever like that. So they have the bed and you lay down, the bed raises up, so the doctor get to the height. And the next thing I didn't expect, they put a lot of iodine on you down there. And that's to clean everything. He's like, yeah, man. So
infections.
So basically your ball's gonna be orange for like a day. Whoa. All right. So
Trump ass over here.
Yeah, basically. Wrong kind of ball. So then the doctor came in there. I was waiting for a while. Like, man, what is going on here? I'm saying, like, it's like 30 minutes, man. Oh, it got me all out like this. So they had a sheet open, but the doctor came in, man, And so basically what they do, the procedure is they go in and make an incision. And what he does to make sure that doesn't happen again, he does like a double snip. So he goes in and really, give you a shot. So he's basically numb. You really don't feel anything. Modern medicine, man.
Wait, where was the shot?
Oh, it was right in the balls.
Oh.
It was a smaller needle, though. It was small.
Was it in the balls or was it in the testes?
I thought that was kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Well, the scrotum. I say, was it in the scrotum or was it in the testes? I guess is how I should put that.
The scrotum.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a little small needle. So I asked him, so how y'all gonna numb me up? He's like, oh man, it's like a little needle like this, man. I'm telling you, you ain't gonna really feel it. I'm telling you, you're gonna be fine. He said after when all that's gets going on, he said basically, man, you're just gonna have a conversation with the doctor while he's doing it, and next thing you know, you're gonna be done. And true to form, that's what happened. So basically, like I said, they go in and make a double snip, and he showed it to me. He showed me he's like little cups or whatever like that. He showed me both of them. So basically, he snipped it. I don't think they burn anything. I think he sewed it up or something like that on the inside. So the flow, You know what I'm saying? So the sperm won't be able to go, you know what I'm saying, be able to come out the live ones, basically.
So
And, dude was real cool, man. He had some music on. I think we had some. He walked in with
What
some
music selection for
he
the
had some New
cutoff?
Edition playing.
You say New Edition?
Yeah, New Edition on. Yeah, look,
Don't put that on New Edition. Don't put that on New Edition.
I'm just saying. It's what he had on his phone. He came
They
in.
would not be
I was
okay
going
with
with some headphones. And I'm like, damn, I forgot to get my headphones. But I want to stand up and I got this orange stuff rolling down my legs and stuff. So I'm like, I got it.
Oh, man.
So he came in, he got some Tony playing. We had a little bit of New Edition.
Don't put that on Tony.
Hey, which New Edition era of the Bobby Brown or Johnny Gill?
Oh, I'm a Johnny Gill guy.
Okay.
As you should be.
I'm a Johnny. No disrespect to Bobby Brown. I mean,
it was better.
But
let me ask you, D. Let me ask you real quick. When you say that, so it's snipped, because I thought what it was is like you still discharge, but it just doesn't have little troopers in it.
Yeah.
But so the little troopers now are just going to be in your scrotum, and then they're just going to go away after a while.
They die. Yeah. They're dead. Yeah.
And do you reabsorb them? How do you get rid of them? How does your body get rid of them?
Oh, the
your waist
being
right?
reproduced.
Yeah, the semen. How does the
I
body
gotta
get
go
rid
on YouTube and figure. I don't know.
Okay, I would have asked this. I was getting this procedure.
Why?
Well, because I want to know. Listen, messing my balls. I wanted to know everything.
Am I gonna have an overflow of waste down here?
Are they just gonna start just growing and just getting out?
Like dripping out my backside? Like, oh, I just came.
Is it gonna find its way out the butt? Since there's no other.
I just made just gotta get it over with. So, but no, man, listen, it was really painless going through it. You know what I'm saying? You feel like a little pinch here and there, whatever like that. But the dude's like a straight professional. I even asked him, like, hey man, so you know how long you been doing this? I was asking him questions I probably should have asked before.
Yeah, sounds like yesterday. I just got my license.
I'm picturing the rusty knife. How long have you been doing this?
I am a first patient. But no, he was telling me like, you know what I'm saying, like, hey man, me and my wife, you know what I'm saying, I wanted 3 kids, she wanted 2. We had the 2, and then all of a sudden, boom, she was pregnant again, and she was like, yeah, you know, maybe just go for another one. He's like, I just got snipped. I told you all I wanted was 3. So he's like, yeah, man, so you sure this is what you want, basically? I'm like, yeah, man, this is it. He's like, how many kids you got? I'm like, I just got 1. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, man, I'm sure. That's it. We good.
See, even the doctor, he was trying to tell you.
Hey,
Get out of here.
like, run.
The door was open. He left the door open cracked on purpose. He looked at you on the door. He was like,
maybe if I put on some New Edition, get the hell out of here.
right.
I'm like,
wait, so you say, can they reconnect it if you wanted to have kids?
You know what? I think you can get it.
Should be able to
reversal, but it's not guaranteed that it's going to work.
Right. I think you get like 60% or something.
Yeah, it isn't a high chance. Like you get a snip, you get a snip. But like I said though, the nurse was telling me when I first went in for the consultation, she's like, man, listen, it's not probably going to happen, but we do so many of them. It's like a little bit less than a 1% chance, but sometimes it happens that they reconnect. So. Yeah. But he did tell me, like, listen, you're gonna have 3. You're gonna come in and bring 3 samples. If the 3rd sample is still has live semen, he said we basically got to do it again.
Ooh, shit.
He said, but the thing is, it's for free.
I say, is it free?
It's free. He said,
does it come with a drink too? Christ.
But the doctor told me, like, man, the way I do it is he said it's a hard chance that it's basically non-existent, the chances of you getting reconnected. So he did it in 2 places.
Yeah. Did Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park come in and say life will find a way? So be careful.
But I mean, so afterwards, I say probably like the first day or 2, they was pretty sore. They got like dissolvable stitches and all that.
Did you have swelling? Any swelling?
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What are we talking here?
Yeah, they was not like grapefruit type shit, but they were sore. Okay. They were sore, a little swollen.
Because they warn you might get some grapefruits.
Listen,
did they tell you might get some grapefruit?
No. It wasn't. Okay. But I mean, I don't care what you do. You cut yourself, any kind of thing. You're gonna have, or you injure the body. it's going to swell. All right, so it swelled a little bit, but by the next day, man, I was good. I haven't took it. You know what you can't do? You can't take any kind of like ibuprofen or any kind of a harder pain drug, over the counter type stuff. You can only take Tylenol. They was like, I don't know if it does something to your bloodstream, and I think it makes it even thinner. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
it does. It makes your blood, it makes it thinner.
Yeah, so only Tylenol, but I didn't take any Tylenol. I didn't take anything. So,
were you able to do everything, like work out?
I haven't worked out yet. No, I just
so these balls gonna end up on the floor.
Do a squat. Oh no!
What's with all this red paint down here? We're remodeling again?
The stitched and ripped and they roll around on the floor.
How long do they say before the stitches go away, dissolve?
Not that long. Probably about next week. They'll probably be gone.
When they say you can do? When can you get back to fake procreating?
Oh, whenever I want to.
So you can have sex today.
Yeah.
With them injured testes and that stitching.
Yeah, I'm fine. I do. I'm fine. I'm walking around. I don't have any soreness like I did before. They basically said, like, listen, you can go back whenever you want to, but I'm gonna forewarn you. If you ain't ready, you're gonna know you're not ready. It's gonna hurt. I'm like, oh. So I just try to make sure that everything is not sore down there. It's not sore anymore, so I can just go. But now
it felt like you got the procedure from the Dalai Lama or something like that with all this wisdom.
Just let me know, like. She's like, dude, I'm telling you, you gonna know if you try to do something you ain't supposed to be doing right now. Your body's gonna tell you stop. But no, it's cool. I'm fine. We can't just go in. I haven't hung up the crown just yet. I gotta wait a little while until I be able to not, pull out. So. But I gotta wait until like all the negative samples. But that's the thing about me though, because that was my biggest hang up. It's kind of like I don't want to have another kid, so that's why I'm not staying inside. It's gonna be a mental hurdle for me. I'm just being honest.
To actually enjoy the sex all the way.
Yeah. I'm just being honest.
She's gonna be mad because now she hasn't had to clean up. Lord. I want this. Oh, you got to get back to pulling that. So you're going to do all of this just to pull out anyway.
I've been saying
it's useless now. There's no bees. There's no guys in there.
I have to get over that mental hurdle. I'm just being 100% truthful with y'all. I ain't going to lie. It's because it's kind of like my whole thing was like, okay, yeah, we had Grace. Was like, I don't want to have any more kids. I'm finished. So all these years I've been... So now I gotta train myself to be like, staying out. You gotta snip your balls and swollen for a reason. Stay.
Right.
So I have to mentally I gotta get there. I'm just being honest. But no, man,
that'll be a little hurdle for you to really get through that one.
Yeah,
I don't think you're going to the Olympics hurdling that one.
I think I'll be an update later. Like, how's it going?
Still doing it back every once in hey man, yeah,
fellas, I didn't pull out.
Tweet it out
in the middle of the night.
Like, fellas, I stayed in there. I didn't leave.
With your cigar and hand.
Yeah, I know, right?
I've been saving this one.
XO Crown Royal.
It's like a secret, like cigar box under the cigar box. Like
your hands are magic. I stayed inside.
Dude, you said to be honest. You said a couple times. What were you about to say after that?
No, you know what? I know some men probably are thinking about it. Probably aren't comfortable enough with probably doing it. The procedure wasn't bad. The procedure wasn't bad at all. Very professional doctor I went to. Healing process is good too. Like I said, I know a couple of other guys that had it, and it was like, yeah, man, you'll be fine in a couple of days. Don't worry about it. Like, you be good. And it's like, just get your samples back and, back to life as normal. A little different, but back to normal. So, anybody out there thinking about doing it, you don't have to be scared about anything. Just as long as saying you're going to no back alley place.
Oh God, I hope it ain't that. You know how bad you must need to get your balls snipped if you want to go to a back alley, like to Mexico, to get this shit done.
Just cut it. Just cut it. Just cut it. I don't want to look.
Roe versus Wade messes this.
And you know what was in the insurance covered it all. So yeah, all money in my pocket. Yeah. The only time I had to pay, only time I had to pay anything to the doctor was for the copay, and that was it.
Anytime they hear that a black man is going to get rid of his procreator, they like,
it's free.
Yeah, you might have to check your health insurance. They're a little too comfortable with you. You might need somebody else.
You know what's surprising? The more I've talked about it with other people, the more I found out a lot of black men are getting it. Like, I'm like, even buddies that I know, female buddies that I know, they're married like that. They're like, oh yeah, such and such got that done like 3 years ago. I'm like, damn, like this is more prevalent than I thought it was. I mean, let's be honest. I'm just coming from a black male's perspective. You don't hear too many bros walk around like, hey man, I just got snipped. Yeah. My buddies were the first ones guys, period, that I knew they even did it. So I was like, wow, man, you did it. It's like I'm saying, you like slept with the most beautiful woman in the world. Like, oh my God, you did it. But surprisingly,
it just doesn't make sense for women, though. That's the problem. If you love some woman that you're with and then you want to cut it off so that you two don't have kids anymore, a woman getting that procedure is like risky.
Oh
for
my
a guy,
God.
It's like nothing.
So wait a minute. I'm glad that you brought that up, Ryan. So the doctor was like, hey, listen, you don't have to do this. Your wife can do this. And I know my missus. Y'all know my missus. I'm not doing that shit. So I was like, you doing it. Ain't nobody going up inside this right here. I'm not getting any kind of, what's it, UIDs? What is it called? I forgot.
Yeah. IUD.
IUD. Yeah, thank you. IUDs. It's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing none of that stuff. So you got to. So I was like, all right. I mean, I know my missus. Nope. So they do give you, they when they first sit you down, they do run down all the other methods of stopping, not having any more kids. But from the woman's side of things, it's basically like, dude.
Did he start off with the joke of abstinence at the first start?
No.
I got this folder for you. Abstinence.
Yeah. You just don't have to do it. And he did, they did. Ken said, Ken and Sid and I, we went to private schools. I'm sure we probably talked about. I remember in religion class they had the natural birth control, basically, like the rhythm, like that natural family planning. He said, he did mention that, but he also mentioned all these other things that would be pretty invasive for my wife. So I was like, nah, I'm good. And it's like I said, it's so much cheaper for men. Mm-hmm. It's easier. It takes like 10 to 15 minutes, and boom, you're done. And you just not, you're not letting up any rounds. You got to clear everything. Like I said before, to start it all off, you got to flush out the pipes. Because I've heard stories of some dudes like, oh man, I got snipped. Boom, their wife is pregnant, or their girl is pregnant, something like that. Like, I thought I was snipped. And like, nah, dude, you got to flush everything. You got to flush everything out first. So I'm in that stage right now. I'm flushing out the pipes.
Can you tell them to keep a sample? Put it on ice? Christ.
You know what? I have to look it up. How cold does it have to be? How? I mean,
nitrous. Like, is that?
Okay, I can go buy a deep freezer and like, hey,
No, deep. I don't think a deep freezer does it, brother. When you see that, it's like nitrous oxide.
And I got my spur. But no, I didn't. I mean, listen, man. Grace is 8 years old. We don't plan on having any more kids. I'm fine.
You can always adopt.
You can always adopt. We got nieces and nephews that we gotta, we help support within the family. It's not like kids is not going to be not around us. Chanel is a kindergarten teacher. She has kids around her all the time. We've helped, certain kids in certain situations in her school. My little cousin teaches down in Nashville. She actually hit us up. Like, she works at a correction, like a correctional facility kind of a thing for kids. And they said that she said, yeah, the only thing the kids get for Christmas is it's so bogus, like a bar of soap and some gloves.
Oh man.
And she said, if the kids don't have any families, because they still be in contact with their families, and if she's like, these girls aren't going to get anything but that, can you please send me some money so I can buy these kids some Christmas gifts, because they literally won't have anything. So it's not as if, you know what I'm saying, we can't support other children and stuff like that, or like I said, we have kids within our family, just within our immediate family. I mean, you know, we're done, and I don't want any other kids. So yeah, I think it was the best thing for us. Every family is different. Every person is different. Every guy is different. You know, I haven't told my family per se. We haven't told our family at all. Like y'all know, well now the world knows, but I think my family don't watch this. No offense.
Hey D, I was worried about you was talking about walking earlier. I was worried about you walking after the surgery. I was worried about you having that James Brown / Crip walk. So you
I had the wide horse stand walk for a little bit. Like this. Say, oh shit. You know what was the hardest thing? Getting up out of the bed. That was the hardest thing. Because you never, I mean, we have our units, you know what I'm saying? We have, you know, and we had them all our life. So you never think about it. You up and down, moving around, you know what I'm saying? But when they're swollen, they're sore, or you feel them. And that was probably the hardest thing, kind of getting in and out the bed. But after about the second day, Christmas Day, it was a Christmas miracle. Man, I'm about
Did you get like an even bigger Christmas gift for taking one on the chin for the team?
No. Actually, you know what? I did a little bit more for the missus this year, man. Besides that, the biggest gift I got for her was for her engagement ring. I got it over 10 years ago, but she lost the diamond. The diamond popped out, so I got her a new diamond for her engagement ring. She got the band, obviously, but she lost the diamond for that. So I got it at. So that was more so a surprise. I wanted to kind of surprise. I had been thinking about that for a while anyway. Nah, man. This was my choice. This was my body, my choice. And I wanted to
Doesn't sound like it, brother. Doesn't sound like it.
Chanel was let's wait till those samples are clear before we start giving gifts.
No, it was my choice. I have been saying this for a long time. I think I told you this years ago. I was like, I'm getting
at least 3 to 4 at least.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm getting snipped. Like, I'm tired of this, you know? Because I'm gonna get too old at one point. It's gonna be like, oh shit, I didn't pull out fast enough. And she's gonna be like 46, 47 years old. I'm pregnant. I ain't going through that shit.
I feel you. I definitely understand.
No, I mean, every king has his day. He falls off the throne, and I didn't want to be there at that time. So I'm like, you know what? Let me step off. You know, unassisted. I just step off.
I'm the exact opposite. I want to be like Richard Gere when he's 80 and he's getting a first kid with his new wife.
Listen, if me and Chanel don't work out and I meet another lady, she better have some kids or she's gonna be sorely disappointed.
I'm with you. You get to a certain age, it's like I hope you took care of that because I'm not starting from the beginning again. Like
right. My kid can take a shower by herself and feed herself. You think I'm gonna start over? Fuck that.
Yeah,
No, I'm not doing it. So, I mean, unless I'm just lie to her. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Oh man,
that's the dirty demon.
I gotta see the doctor.
That's a real dirty demon. Oh shit, cool. Yeah, be over the corner.
Oh man. All right.
Good for you, D. You've been warming up.
It's all good. So anybody out there?
Did you have the victory cigar yet? Did you have the celebratory cigar?
No. You know what? I think they all just left. My mother-in-law was over here for a little bit, but they wanted to go to a little store. They wanted to go to the store. It's like almost. I know tomorrow's supposed to be like almost 50 degrees, right? So yeah, I might have a cigar and some more of that XO. I sit outside, whatever, like that on the balcony and have a little something. So yeah. I'm really gonna have one when I can fully go. Oh, that's gonna be nice. I might call you. I might take y'all call y'all. I'm gonna do something right then and there.
That's good, brother. Well, we happy you had a safe procedure.
Yes.
Thank you.
And happy you didn't have to pay for it, really.
That's even better. You know how cheap my ass is. I called like, you know what? I didn't ask this. How much does this cost?
Damn, you really didn't have no question.
I didn't.
The man was preoccupied with his boys. He didn't have time to think.
They called me real quick. They called me. It's like, yeah, we're trying to get in contact with your doctor to get the referral over for the insurance claim. Like, if we don't get this, done, we can't
get it.
Go, yeah, we got to cancel this. Got to reschedule.
You can't do this shit for free.
Yeah. And I was like, while I got you on the phone, how much does this cost?
How much does it cost?
It was, you know what? I don't know. I will, you know what? I'll be able to see the actual paperwork through the insurance. I don't have to pay anything because of cover it. But I am going to look at it when it all goes through. I can just go through my insurance portal or whatever like that and just see how much it costs. It got to be in the thousands, obviously.
Yeah, I was thinking 5.
Yeah. I mean, it's an outpatient surgery, but it has to be in the thousands. I'm sure.
Right. They charge you like $2,000 just to sit in the room.
Basically, dude, the cream was like $70.
Oof.
But when my insurance was like $6. The pill that I took was like $5, but with the insurance was like 65 cents. So you know they making money. No, man, they making. And I was the only young person in that because it's like a urologist doctor. So I'm in there with a bunch of ass really old men, like 70, 80 years old, something wrong with their bladders and some shit. And then my young ass is in there. So I obviously everybody knew. And then one of the nurses was like, yeah, you here to get the vasectomy? I said, damn, man. Say what y'all think? You gotta tell everybody my business, but yes, I am here.
What happened to doctor-patient confidentiality?
Yeah.
Come
like,
on.
You had the insurance problem. You hit it for the vasectomy. I said, damn. And there was a young sister in there too. I think she was going for some of herself because she went in the back with her. I guess her husband, boyfriend, whoever it was, another guy was there. And I'm like, it was like we the only ones in there that's like under the age of like fucking 70. So I mean, she was loud. Loud. Oh, yeah. Your insurance didn't come through the referral for the vasectomy. I said, damn, lady. I said, all right, keep that down. Man.
Goodness gracious.
Is there for the vasectomy?
Every old man turns their head.
Right. Yeah. Look at this young boy over here getting his nuts snipped off, huh?
Who the hell is he?
My day, they all got World War II hats on.
We would have made a boomer.
Korean War, Vietnam War shit. Looking in my ass like
you still got some more. You still got some more of that cream left?
I do, but I don't know what to do with it.
I don't know. You got to do something with that cream.
I was thinking that too, Ken. I said I got to do something with this. I done paid for this.
It's a $70 cream. You got to do something with that cream.
Who want to get numb tonight? You got to be shaved first. And
Chanel, give me a second. I got to get this cream real quick.
Yeah, hold on. I want to spice things up. It warms your balls up. So as soon as you clean it up down there and you shave, then you're supposed to put it on there. Damn, my balls got a little warm. I said, oh shit. I'm like, okay, this is all right now. This is working. So
where's my cigar?
Let's spice things up. Pass me the cream. You hot too. Wrap it.
You're like texting Chanel. Where's the shrink wrap? Where is it? I need it now.
Oh, that's some freaky shit. I don't know, Ken. Me and you are still here because I was like, I gotta do something with this cream.
You gotta do something with that cream. You got that $70 of cream.
There's a big tube about that big.
Let me sprain an ankle or have any injury. I'm slapping that cream up on that.
I got a cut. I got some cream for you.
You got a hamstring? Put some cream on it.
I know, right? Let me put this cream on you. Where you get that cream from my balls? Don't worry about the burning sensation. I already felt it.
It's $1 billion ball cream. All right, flipping friends. We just got through talking about Dee's vasectomy. We had to talk about this. And I don't want to dive too much into this because I know Dee said he hasn't watched it. But I watched Antebellum yesterday. Afton had rented it Thursday night. And I'm like, how long did it last? Yeah, she paid for it. It's not free. She got it through Amazon Prime. I mean, yeah. So she watched part of it, and yesterday I was like, all right, I'm finally gonna watch it because it only lasts for 28 hours, which lets you know you really getting taken advantage of. So I'll sit there. I'll start watching it. She was upstairs doing something. Then she came back with the part where she was already at, and I'm watching it. And I'm like I say, I'm not going to reveal anything. I'm watching it and I'm trying to understand if I really like it. And she kind of critiqued Janelle Monáe's acting. I told her to stop. You don't talk about Janelle Monáe to me. All right. in a joking manner, but you know I love me some Janelle Monáe. She loves Janelle Monáe also. So I watched it. I watched the first time watching it, I'm like, okay, I get it. But when the whole thing is revealed, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Right. So when it's because I'm at the point when they reveal it, like, oh, we would have killed all of these motherfuckers. At least as many as needed to be for us to get the fuck out of the situation. That's all I got to say about it. When the M. Night Shyamalan part jumps out on there or whatever, when it's revealed, because I'm on there like, what type of witchcraft? Just when it is revealed, it's like, oh, get the fuck out of it. That's all I got to say about it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so but is it worth renting?
Yeah, is that good or bad?
Don't rent that. Wait for that to come out free. Wait for that. But see, I felt like that. But since she's been wanting to rent this for months, and
I've been wanting to get it for a while too.
And I said, just looking at all the reviews of it and how iffy they were, hot and cold. Yeah. I was like, you know what? I think you should just wait till it's free because I don't think that's a rent-worthy movie. Now she's like, you know, I want to support the black people, and I'm like, I feel you. I love Janelle Monáe, but I'm telling you, I don't know about this one. All right. So I would say wait. I mean, now if you just want to do it, like if you and Chanel just really want to watch,
it's like $4, right?
I don't know how much it was. Probably it shouldn't be that expensive. It can't be $20 for that by now.
It was when it came out. You could only you rent it at first. It was like $20. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Exactly. So I mean, I would want you to do it so you can come back and we can have a discussion about it. Okay. Because it's something to say the least, and I get why the reviews were mixed because I'm still like, I don't even know what I just saw right here. Like that's kind of like. And then you know what you saw, but it's still like, what? So that's all I'm gonna say about that. So now jumping into the flip, one thing that stood out to me yesterday. Well, go ahead, D. What are you about to say?
No, I don't know if y'all wanted to talk about Wonder Woman. I was going to
go ahead, D. Go ahead. Talk on Wonder Woman.
So here's my critique of it without giving anything away. Me personally, Kristen Wiig stole the movie.
Okay, I wanted to ask that.
She stole, in my opinion, she stole the movie.
So she was great because Ken and I talked about it, like, we don't know.
I love Kristen Wiig.
Yes, we love her.
I still don't think she physically looks like the character from animation. And
she does.
That's the thing. That's what kind of stood out to me.
Right. I mean, but it's very few times you find any actors that kind of look like the actual drawing. So
I just need a little bit more meat. Just a little bit more meat.
But you know what? She look. I find Kristen Wiig kind of attractive. So
I find her attractive too. I'm not dissing her.
That's what you're saying.
The character I keep forgetting is it Tiger? What's her name? The Tiger character? Cheetah. Cheetah is curvaceous, a very curvaceous thing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that was again. I find Kristen Wiig attractive also. Yeah.
The CGI eventually helped with that.
I saw the CGI on the commercial.
So that's number one. Number two. These two Wonder Woman movies are in the same realm, in the same position as Chris Hemsworth's first two Thor movies. They better figure something out.
Okay.
Not true, because you was going crazy for the first one.
The first Wonder Woman?
Yeah, as far as because you were saying how I was going to break up. Back then, you thought it was going to break up. I did.
Yeah. And you know what? Me and Chanel kind of had a real in-depth conversation after we both watched it. And I was like, she says she's too dainty. Gal Gadot is too dainty. She says she's a very attractive woman. She's too dainty. She said,
I can see that.
And I was like, you know what?
To be an Amazon.
Right. Amazon is a bad, and if you read any Woman Wonder comic books or seen any of the animated cartoons, she's a badass. Like, she don't take nothing for none of these other guys. She's a badass, right? So
Gina Carano, is that what you're telling me?
I think she would have been better.
Who?
Gina Carano,
the one from The Mandalorian.
Yeah. She's just not tall enough.
Well, Cara Dune?
Yeah.
You know,
she's
man.
MAGA, though.
Yeah, I was supposed to say she got political views we don't agree with.
I know about that. I'm just saying,
every time I see the Mandalorian, I see her running in. I feel mad at her saying stuff I don't like.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the Make America Great Again.
That popped in my head too. Yes, Jason. Yes. But before we were talking about, we're going back to like kind of the physical attributes. I think she would have been better. She's short. I think she's just short leg. But anyway, beside that. In Batman versus Superman and a little bit of Justice League, she didn't have to worry about carrying a movie. She was good in certain spots. And I think she sold enough people of her being Wonder Woman in those limited spots. Because I think a lot of people was like, let's see what happens. Oh, okay, she kind of a badass. These past two movies, in my personal opinion, I don't know. Mm-hmm. So if you have HBO, it's free. Watch it. It's long.
It's too long? Like it's too long?
Yeah, it's too long.
How many hours?
235.
235.
Ooh,
yeah,
man.
Yeah. It's a long movie.
That's a half a watcher. I'll come back to the other half of that.
You know, and I watched the whole thing, and this is my face all the way through it. Like,
but see, I figured that though, man. That doesn't bang. Wonder Woman again. The first one, I think your analogy comparing it to Thor is a good one.
Yeah,
I think that's
I really like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good one because the first one was straight.
Yeah,
like I was like, oh, that's that shit right
now,
there.
I would say
and
this.
You thought
I would
the
say this
second
about the
one
movie,
would
though.
be, and it wasn't.
I would say this about the movie. It's not terrible. But
that's a good old shit right there. It's kind of good.
No, it's not terrible.
There's worse movies out there.
It is. Listen. Comic book movies now, especially with Marvel, you're not looking at it kind of like, oh, we're just having a good time. You're looking at dissection. You're looking at the acting. You're looking at these movies now. These are not just throwaway like little popcorn movies. They're not. Can you watch it? Yes. Will you be able to get through it? Yes. You're going to have some fun parts to it? Yes. But overall, you're going to come in, my personal opinion, you're going to leave that one the same way you left the first one. It was okay. All right.
Okay.
But they got to work. They got to fix this because Thor, those first two Thor movies, everybody's looking at him like, man, what's going on with these? Luckily, you in the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
She doesn't have that fallback with the Justice League movies.
Well,
he doesn't have that.
Maybe.
You don't have anything to fall back on. It's like, oh, I can go back to this other cast of great actors and I don't have to carry anything.
But you know what, though? If when they do Flashpoint, it's going to be her acting in a whole different vein.
And they're doing the new Snyder cut, too, on Justice League.
Yeah, but like I said, though, Brian, she doesn't have to carry it all. Mm-hmm. That's the thing.
But that could change with this Justice League, potentially. She could be a different character in it.
All I got to say, Linda Carter's always going to be my Wonder Woman.
Facts. Wonder Woman.
And it wasn't even like Linda Carter was out there being a badass. It was just a time and it fit.
Fit is the proper word.
Yeah.
That fit was not terrible.
Coke bottle.
Brother.
Shout out to the Rican side of her.
I can't wait to. I was kind of going back and forth with Brandon Pope on Twitter. Not a lot, but I kind of threw out a few little memes, kind of like brother. So I can't wait to hear what y'all think about it. So y'all can let me know what y'all think.
I'm gonna watch that.
Y'all can look at me completely different. Like, no, dude, actually. So
I mean, it may be slightly better than what you're saying, but to me, the franchise is lacking something in general. And I'm not a Gail person.
Gal
Gadot. She doesn't. It doesn't necessarily work.
Me neither.
Sorry, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't. Jason Kessner. Before we jump into some flip topics, what have you been up to, sir?
Well, for one thing, it's Boxing Day, so that's a big day.
You're moving?
My team won 3-0.
Oh,
that's always exciting. Yeah, it's Christmas come back-to-back days if you are into the Premier League. Boxing Day, but yeah, that's that, and running every day in December. I set that as a goal just because I was going stir crazy. So yeah,
what's your route?
Nephew?
Oh, he's gonna be 9 on January 3rd, and man, that kid's gotten big fast.
Mm-hmm.
They took him in for the last checkup either at 7 or 8 months. He's the size of like a big 1-year-old.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What y'all feeding that boy?
Some damn Asgardians over there. What the hell?
Future Bears offensive lineman right there.
Oh, really?
We'll see. Yeah. We're not very tall in my family, but my sister-in-law's family's got some height in them, so we'll see.
Wow.
Maybe I'll be teaching him to box out, and he won't have people grow to the point where his skill set doesn't match the 5.
Jason, how far you run on average?
For this, like, I've never been big on run streaks, so I sort of took it to a lower level. The parameters for this were run within any 24-hour period, or run once each every day, and then at least 1.5 miles. The least I've done is 1.9. The most I did any day was 10.7. The average has been about 4.8. Got a lot of like 3s or 2.8s in there, and then some 6s and 7s. Good. So it just kind of depends, especially when it's like, whew, I did not run very far last night. I will say that, but it wasn't the 1.9. It's cold. I was like
cold last night. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a 2 miles-ish out last night, but occasionally you'll get a 10 to get the average up.
Where do you run, Jason? Like, what's your routes?
I don't really replicate anything, even before. Okay. Although it gets hard if you're running every day and you are doing loops because you run out of different paths to take. But it's always been my thing to go different places all the time.
Yeah.
So if we weren't in a pandemic by this point, I probably would have like taken the public transportation out to a point to run back for more interesting things, so I didn't have to make a circuit. But it's been months since I've been on a bus or a train because the world we live in.
Yeah. Don't
have that vaccine yet, boys.
How quickly are you taking the vaccine?
Huh?
How quickly are you taking the vaccine?
Well, I'm probably like the last person that's going to be able to get it, but once I can, I'll be there for it.
Yeah, I think same thing with me. I think we'll know what's going on with it by the time it gets to us. Like my mother-in-law had it. She's a nurse. She got it last week, and I think she gets her second shot on like
2 more weeks.
The 11th or something like that. She was just telling me. Yeah.
No allergic reactions, right? Because I've been
the only thing she said her arm was sore. She said that was it. She's like, young ones, you work out, your muscles are a lot better than mine. She's like, my arm was kind of sore. She's like, other than that, fine. So and she has underlying health conditions, but she was like, I'm fine. But she's a nurse, so they want to get it.
Yeah, my nurse friend was posting like observations and updates to social media after she took it. She said it was like not even like the most severe soreness in the upper arm that she's had from a seasonal flu shot. Like it's like on a scale from like most extreme flu shot to least extreme flu shot is like a 7 or an 8 rather than like the 10 for like, this is terrible. I can't move my arm.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty mild. Seems like.
Oh, that's good.
Well, I'm going to get it. I think, like I said, but like Jason said, we're going to be like the last people to get it. But I think by that time also too, we would have seen or at least heard of all the.
Not all of them, because it's going to take some time to know exactly.
I mean, but what for us, we're all healthy young men. We won't be able to get it until at the summertime anyway.
Yeah, best.
Yeah, so it's going to be a minute, and then we still going to be like having masks on and shit.
Do we need to take it if 70% already do?
I don't know about you.
Do I need to take it once we get that herd?
Wait a minute. You probably definitely need to take it where you at.
Yeah, and if everyone get on a plane again, you're going to need to take it.
Yep.
I guess I'm driving from here on out, boys.
Take the Greyhound bus.
No, the Greyhound bus is the same thing. You in the tube with a bunch of strangers.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if in order to go to a stadium or an arena, you'll need
they're going to do that. Yeah,
y'all think so?
Yes. Yeah, it's liability. They're not going to take that liability of being a super spreader like that.
But you know what? But that's the thing, though. This is why I kind of push back on it. So I talked to my doctor, not my SNP doctor, my regular doctor.
You should just talk to that doctor for now on.
I
For
should.
everything.
It's cool brother, man. Cool brother.
What do you think about this vaccine?
I talked to my general practitioner doctor, and this is when I got my flu shot. So this October, November, I went to the doctor, my yearly checkup, and I asked her, I'm like, so how do you how you been doing through all this? What do you think about it, whatever? She's like, well, number one, I'm probably gonna be wearing a mask for the rest of my career. She said, honestly, think about it, we should have been doing this anyway. And she's probably like in her maybe late 40s, if anything. She's fairly young. So I'm like, well, you could probably be a doctor for another 25 years. I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting to hear. I was like, well, is it going to be mandatory for you since you're a doctor? And she was like, no, like, we don't have to take it. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, what about the flu shot? She's like, oh, that's mandatory. I was like, but this COVID shot's not going to be mandatory? She was like, no. It's like, it's going to be up to you. So, and I was like, so if I'm hearing this from my doctor that they're going to have this just be strictly, if you do what you do, you can get it, you don't get it. How are you going to stop people from going to an arena if
exactly?
Yeah,
Listen,
I don't know if you're going to be able to do that.
Because your doctor, her company doesn't want to sit there. If they force her to take something and she has a bad reaction, it's on them. You don't have to come into this arena. All right,
That's true. That is true.
You can push on and do whatever, but for you to come in here,
push on, brother.
I said, well, right? And to throw on top of that, though, I mean, yeah, there is the liability thing, but if, let's say, maybe a state is more red than blue, maybe they don't care as much letting people into the arena without a vaccine.
Yeah.
But you saw what the state of Texas did last year during the league championship series and the World Series. They had 11,000 fans in there. So
I can tell you here in Arizona, it's like barely masked on.
But see, this is the thing. I think we're talking sitting to the point that you're making. We're talking about getting back to the closest normal as far as capacity's sake. So they can really start getting to the money they're getting to.
Right.
And that's where I think they're going to be like, yeah, if we're talking about they're going to be at half capacity or less, you probably won't have to do it. But if they want to get to 70, somewhere like that, they're probably going to be like, you know what, you need to, take this. Therefore, if there's a huge spread in it, and I'll even say this, in some red states, it may depend on what the whatever the government there covers them. Because let's think about what Mitch McConnell's been trying to do. He's been trying to make it so jobs can't get sued if you come back. You know what I'm saying? So that now, if you're in a state and that's okay, yeah, you don't have to get it. You know what I'm saying? But I bet you here in a blue state, it's going to be interesting what they do when they want to sit there and throw, especially if it's not like Soldier Field or an outdoor event. They want to get back into the UC or something like that. And even with those other places at a higher capacity, I'm interested. I mean, I think I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up taking it because I don't want to fucking get super sick and croak from COVID just on a humbug. But still, the vaccines ain't supposed to be rushed like this. I don't care how much technology. The internet's been around for about 20 years now. So y'all could have been working on SARS like this too. All right.
I'll take out the regional variation, though, the geographic variation. I think once you get the players associations involved and you talk about the money from full capacity versus not, it's not going to matter whether or not it's happening at in the Arlington venues or if it's down in Arizona. You're going to have people negotiating. The players with the NBA PA negotiating with the NBA to be like, no, we don't suit up. We don't travel to certain venues if we don't have this like passport thing that's tied into your ticket buying.
They might.
Jason, I want to ask you a question, Jason, because you're a huge soccer fan. What are they doing in Europe? Have they been able to letting
fans
attendance, saying fans come back in and shit?
So it's been a mix. So the team I support is in Birmingham, England, the second city of England. The Midlands, where that's located, to the northwest of London, has been sort of one of the hot spots. One of the reasons why I'm like, whew, I was at the last full capacity event in Leicester, just to the east of Birmingham, for a match versus Leicester City and Aston Villa. I'm like, then right after that, Leicester's been a hotspot this entire time. Those two.
Hold on. Wait, real quick. Could you go back? Did you say you were there, then Leicester became a hotspot? Is that what you just said?
I was there Monday, March 9th, which was the last full capacity Premier League match. And came home the 12th of March. Lockdown started here on like the 16th or 17th, and then they had like the spikes in the places where I was at were like.
Hold on. Okay.
Remember, we were
you trying to figure me for the responsibility?
Hold on, wait. You were the person that made fun of us when we told you don't bring your ass to the show because you've been traveling the world, and you got on us like, oh man, the places I've been ain't nothing happening. That's what you said.
Wait. But the thing was they went from like me being in Stockholm the night before I came home when Trump gave the speech, he was closing all the airports and stuff, to I got home, and then by like the 15th, that was where I'm like, nope, shutting all the doors, even before like they made sure everything was closing here. And I like was like, nope, this isn't normal. This is like that. The Friday I got back was like where I was like, oh, because I was still in that mindset of like, it'll miss us just like everything else misses us, right? And that hasn't been in that last 9 months.
Yeah.
Like I haven't gone any place other than like I've gone outside to run every day just so I leave my house.
I think we found patient X right here.
Wait, dude.
I know
Were you in those wet markets?
Were
you in the wet markets in December of 2019?
What's that?
Were you in the wet markets of 2019?
He snapped.
If we want to get conspiracy theory, though,
go ahead.
I was sick in December.
I was.
Yeah, I got it New Year's.
I was too.
And the thing about it is I know somebody who was traveled, like the last trip he took was October of 2019. He was traveling to Shenzhen and Wuhan a lot, but they weren't talking about any.
He was the Pangalang.
Anything.
This motherfucker got infected all of us back in the day.
This sounds tinfoil hat as hell, but like last Thanksgiving, I was very sick, and I wasn't not sick until January.
Who's got Uncle Joe's number? We found patient X. We can figure this out right now.
Correct me if you've heard anything else. In terms of because I wanted to get the antibodies tests, but then as soon as I was ready to like go to where I get all my medical stuff done, that's when the infection rate started increasing after around and after Thanksgiving. And I was like, no, there's no point. I might as well just stay home.
Right.
So I didn't wait in line to go get an antibodies test. But from what I've heard, it's not like a lifetime thing. Like there's a very quick half-life for this to where you can't tell beyond a couple of months.
That's what I was going to say. Like
it's different for people to people. Like for the majority, it's a short-lived window, but it can stretch for a long period of time. Just like, because some people with their antibodies, we don't know with immunity. We think in general it lasts for a certain amount of time. Some people might have immunity for life.
Hey, listen, remember I went to go donate blood. That was one reason why I did it, is to get the antibody test. I came back, my results came back negative.
But that still doesn't mean you didn't have it, though.
Right. True.
It just means,
because the guy who's technician, he said, I asked him, like, because I didn't know shit. I was like, once you get the antibodies, you got them, right? Like a mutant, I don't know. And he was like, nah, dude, it's like they probably only last in your system. Did he say 3 to 6 months?
I know 3.
That's the general.
6 is
longest. And I told him my time when I was sick, when we was doing the show at the Score, when I was at that time, I was super, super sick. And I was like, yeah, man, last time I was like really, really sick was December of last year. He's like, oh man, he's like, thanks for donating blood, but you probably ain't getting antibodies anymore. It's like going out your system by now. He was like, we still gonna do the test. We never know, but they probably out the system.
Oh, so you probably got me sick then. If you were sick in December, and then we were their house.
We were all sick.
And I was sick on New Year's.
I was sick in November. I was sick the Monday before Thanksgiving last year.
Wow. I know renamed.
Maybe that's how I didn't get it in March.
I know it was a sickness that I hadn't felt before. But I was extremely exhausted. Like I've had the flu, but the exhaustion that I had during this was different. Like that's what
before me came, or I was sick. How did it go? Was I sick first?
I think you were sick first.
Okay.
But I don't even even with it. I mean, and you were really sick.
I was sick.
But I felt at times sometimes that I felt like I could fake how sick I was.
Yeah.
Like that's how
Chanel got sick she got sick right after me. And I remember one day she was crying in the bed because she how bad she felt.
It was bad.
We didn't know. And I'm not saying that we had it. I'm not trying to say that we had it.
I'm with you. Can't say I had it.
I don't know. It was bad.
If you want to tinfoil hat, we can definitely tinfoil hat here, guys.
Yeah.
Because it's a circle.
Yeah, and we were doing shows too.
We were doing shows.
So we were with each other, but I know that, and I didn't know this. I remember at one point after asking me to smell something, I was like, dude, I can't smell anything whatsoever. And it had been like I could not smell shit. Yeah, like that could not like if you hold it up, like I couldn't smell for at least a week or something. I couldn't. But at that point, I just thought it was my sinuses until they started coming out and was like, "You can't smell anything." And then she was like, "Yeah, you couldn't smell anything back then." And I was like, "Yeah, So,
like one time in my life before New Year's, I remember losing taste and smell. Like that was so weird. I never lose taste and smell, no matter what. And then on New Year's, when I had it, and I'm getting this fever, fatigue for days. And then I was like, man, this is so weird. I can't taste or smell anything right now. From a flu, that never happens.
Right. See, for me, it wasn't, I don't recall ever losing taste or smell, but usually when I'm sick for like 36 hours and then I'm like back to normal.
Yeah.
This lasted weeks.
Yeah. Mine was like 5-6 days.
And then 2, I was trained to run a marathon. And then suddenly I didn't have the lung capacity. And then when I went for my annual checkup in January, the guy gave me a rescue inhaler because he's like, that's strange. And I couldn't blow, like the little instrument, I couldn't blow. Like I was giving him the power. He's like, you're a fit guy. You just came back within weeks from a marathon. You should be putting it here on the meter. This is like what an 80-year-old man would be doing.
Wow.
And then shortly after that, that's when I started to get my faculties back. And then there was a period of weeks. And then there was travel. And then it was a thing again. And if I feel like if things would have been reported on differently, I wouldn't have gone.
Yeah, well,
that wasn't happening. And the reason for the dispute in the text was because they didn't start reporting on things as seriously where I was, whereas you guys had like a 5 to 10 day window.
No, brother, we were giving you this. Black common sense was like, no. It didn't make me and D talked on the side. I was like, is he bugging? He was like, yeah, he is bugging. We was like, no, Black common sense was like, no, it's something out in the world. That's not the time to be like, oh, you traveling all over. Come on, bring it. No, it was too easy to tell you no. And you were mad, like, man, it ain't over here, motherfucker.
Well, because it was 4 in the morning where I was, and then all of a sudden my phone was blowing up. Not just you guys, but everybody else.
Yeah.
So you were taking it out on us, and other people told you to stay the fuck away. You said, I'm tired of you staying away, motherfuckers.
No, they were afraid I was going to get stuck out. Everyone's like, you going to make it back? And I was like, yes, I'll make it back. I
think I asked you a couple of times, like, are you going to be able to make it back home? And you definitely told us. You say, I'm going to be able to make it back home. I'm like, all right,
Yeah, I was like leaving the next morning, and I should have been asleep, but instead my phone was just like, beep, 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 beep,
hey, man, listen, I'm just glad all of this is somewhat wrapping up. It's not, like I said before, it's not going to be somewhat normal probably until the summer, maybe even fall. Maybe.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. Fall is probably the realistic thing. Summer's too ambitious.
Yeah. You know what? Because I'm not like, I won't be back into my office again until next year sometime. I'm not talking about like February. We are not sending Grace back to school. Now, the teachers, my wife, she's a teacher, they're actually talking about that she might go back in at the end of January.
They ain't gonna do it.
See, I don't think so.
Better not.
I keep saying that too.
Too high.
It's gonna jump on January 11th.
Yeah, it's too many people are still dying. You know what I'm saying?
And they talk about having them in there.
But we won't be able to get them. They won't be able to get it. I don't know where teachers are in this hierarchy.
It's not high enough. For instance, here in Illinois, they're saying that your wife's a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
Kindergarten teachers, pre-K. Let me say the pre-K. I know, and kids with special needs. They're talking about sending them there for the entirety of the week, not like a hybrid.
Right.
They come in there every day with those teachers and all these kids and all those germs. I know with Kelsey's teacher, it's kind of like, yeah, we getting ready for it, but it probably won't happen. To me, if you were even going to try it, you should try it hybrid. Why would you say do this every 2 days out of the week? I would kind of be interested, but I still wouldn't probably do it. But yeah, like just the thought of it. And I was reading an article in the Tribune yesterday or the day before, and the article started off. One of the ladies was like, I support the teachers because you never know, they can sit there and work. Somebody can end up dying because you have all these kids there. But the rest of the article was like, I'm tired of CPS and CTU, and I'm like, I'm not even thinking about the union. Mind you, I will criticize the teachers union. Yeah. I was like, I ain't even thinking about that. When you look at the fact that they don't even have a vaccination for these kids.
Yeah, that's another thing my mother-in-law was saying. Like they like the kid is for the shot is 16 and older. That's it. They don't have anything.
They don't have
the kids gonna be a lot later.
But those kids gonna get before the start of the next school year. I guarantee.
Yeah, they'll get it. They're just now doing trials on kids, and I don't know who's offering their kids up for those trials.
Right. It's probably those celebrity parents of like those diaper commercials.
Right. I told you.
To bring it back to you talk about the realistic nature of CPS being able to open on January 11th. That's basically exactly 2 weeks from now, when people will have disregarded, stay-at-home orders and all that stuff. And for all we talk about, got to stay home. Like, we know enough now. You got to stay home. And to take it back where we started with the Premier League, you've seen this. They've opened up. It's like 1,000 people or 2,000 people in attendance for where the zones of infection were low enough to actually go to matches. And in the case of this, the first week they did that, London had 2,000 people in the stadiums for the teams that played in London. Now there's no attendance in London. The only places that are still like being able to do that are Liverpool and then places on the South Coast, Southampton and Brighton. It's still huge in the Midlands. It's spiked in London. It spiked in Newcastle. The entire UK ended up having to go into an additional lockdown. They've done it regionally by zones, so it kind of effectively works like the different states here. But there's plenty of things that reopened where there were low infection rates that then later had to close again because infection rates went up. It's pretty clear you're waiting for the vaccine, or you're just going to have to keep doing the curves.
Right.
But this is a thing, too, to remember. Like, for instance, D, with your mother-in-law, she have a mask on the entire time she was there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you have to remember, even with vaccination, you still carry the virus in your nose.
Yes.
All right. And you can still spread it until they have a booster to go in your nose. You're still capable of spreading the vaccine. You're still capable of getting sick if you take the vaccine. I mean, not the vaccine, the virus. If you take the vaccine, you can still get sick. It's to stop you from being severely sick. So it's not the cure-all or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so
I had a buddy of mine, his cousin got it twice.
Yeah. So, just so
it's
you know.
definitely possible. Yeah.
All right, let's run through this real quick because we try to make these shows shorter now.
Okay. I'm sorry. I come back out just stretched.
No, this was good. No.
You blaming me? I think you blaming me.
No. This was a catch up. It's not at all, brother. We happen to have you back. And it's not even like that. I'm just saying for the consumer. To get it done. No, don't feel like that. All right. So look, this is the thing. Woke up yesterday. Saw a little bit of. I saw the fact that there was some tissue remains to this, but the Nashville bombing took place on Christmas Day. I was pissed. I don't listen. CNN and MSNBC. I don't care what the hell you was running and who was off. You better send somebody up in there to report on this. All right. I'm trying to go all over to get some more news about this.
Yeah, I was too.
I'm like, not just a blip. I need coverage on this. So anybody doesn't know, in downtown Nashville, there was an RV. It was parked there, I believe, since like 1 a.m. in the morning. But at a certain point, shots were heard from the direction where this RV was. And then a woman's voice came on when the cops arrived to tell them if anybody's in the vicinity of this RV, they need to get the hell away from it, basically, because it's going to blow up.
Real. So the shots were real? That actually happened?
They don't know. The shots could have been recorded or they could have been real. Okay. What they think is because there was nobody around, the person may have shot the shots off to get the police to come, but they don't know if the shots were just being played on the same recording that was going on there. So they don't for surely know. But the bomb went off. Windows. One dude said that if he was in the room that was facing where the bomb was, it would have been nasty because all his windows were blown out. All the windows in that area. One building collapsed from it. They was in front of what looks like a parking garage, but is basically one of the hubs for AT&T as far as their communications. Now they have the AT&T building there. We've all seen it driving through Nashville, the AT&T building. It has the ears, the antennas on both sides of it. But also that AT&T place, they don't even have an entrance on the front main street. So, and it's nondescript. So it's not like people know. And they're saying that it wasn't next to it was by the building, but it wasn't pushed up against the building. So they still aren't kind of say that the building was necessarily the target. There have been human remains. We don't know if that's like a digit, a limb, but we know there's tissue samples, and they're trying to find out who that person was. Was there a person in the RV when the RV blew up? But my thought was this. This is what happens when you do that fake news shit, right? Like that was when I saw this, I said, this is all because we are not going to escape lying to these people and telling them an election was stolen and rigged. And everybody and their mother's gonna go along copacetic, even if they're angry. You're gonna see some fucking shit, some bullshit, Timothy McVeigh shit take place or whatever. That was my thoughts when I first heard about it. What were your guys' thoughts when you first heard about it?
It came across my phone and I was like, whoa, like what's going on? My little cousin, Diamond, she lives in Nashville, but she's actually up here. So I actually hit her up. I'm like, hey, you heard anything about this? She's like, yeah, my friends just told me about it. But then I was thinking, like, wait a minute, it's kind of odd. This went off at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, who is down at this particular place in this area? Because I think it is like a lot of bars and restaurants around that vicinity. I was like, what's the mindset of setting it off then? Because you're not really going to, hurt anybody. I mean, you can probably call. I mean, like you said, Ken, I think they were trying to draw the attention of the police officers there and try to get them to come, but they were smart enough. They was like, okay, get back. And 3 of them was still injured. And I don't think they was even that close to the vicinity of what this bomb was. And I saw the pictures of it. Man, it looked like a missile strike. I'm not trying to be funny or anything. It looked that bad. I'm like, wait a minute, this was just from a car? Like, what in the hell? What was inside that? How did this happen? It looked that bad. But the biggest thing for me was kind of like, why set it off then? Are you trying to just send a statement? Was this a mistake? I mean, that's just odd to send off at 6 o'clock in the morning during a pandemic. Nobody's really out. Now, people are out, but nobody's out like that. So why set off there? So that was the only thing that kind of stuck with me. Was
it practice? Real quick, let me add this to it. There was a gentleman that used to be, I believe he was a part of the FBI in Nashville, and he talked about bombings. I was watching him on the news. He said that people take, like, somebody will send something in, they'll say this is a bomb, and people take it as a joke. Bombers do tell you at times that it's a bomb. You know what I'm saying? He said that one guy blew up himself in a Range Rover, and the guy's body flew 300 to 30 feet in the air, and that they didn't get the letter from the dude talking about the plan till 4 days later that the dude sent to himself. And he's just going through, like, as far as how bombers necessarily react. He also talked about being that he worked in Nashville. That area during the holidays is basically no one's around right there. So they weren't necessarily, like you're saying, trying to target. And as far as the police that got hurt, he said they train police to, even when they think they're far enough away, get further enough away, because the shrapnel can go for blocks from it. So continue to set the parameter, continue expanding the parameter further and further away from the bomb, and don't think you're safe. He said that was for policemen and firemen, because a lot of times, even though they think they're at a healthy enough distance, they're not, or safe enough distance. But Jason, what did you think when you first heard about it?
I got it kind of late. I didn't have my phone on me to get the updates right away, but then immediately the thing that came through is just how bad of a year it's been for
Nashville.
Yeah. They had a tornado to start the year and other stuff going on. And now this to wrap up 2020 for all the cities, for all of us having bad years, but Nashville's up there in terms of the worst year for a city that you could possibly have.
Yeah.
Sydney?
When I first heard of I thought it was a terrorist attack. I didn't want to think the worst of the worst, but started hearing the details. I was like, it could be a terrorist attack. Thank goodness not the worst came out of it as far as we know. But I'm with you, Ken. I started looking, flipping through the stations. They were reporting on it, but it wasn't, like you said, nonstop breaking news coverage. Maybe these networks didn't want to scare anybody off because, one, it was Christmas, and number two, we were dealing with everything else via COVID. I don't know, but if it's, when an event like that happens, you have to cover it, not just put it on as cachet. It's like, it's just just like here in Chicago, it's just another person that got shot. Yeah, this is what happened. Let's move on to something else. You just can't do things cavalier, especially with a tragic event like that. Like I said, I think there's nothing else happened besides that, but still, you can't just push those things out like it's no big deal.
I think we can already say it's terrorism. I think that was terrorism.
Yeah.
Domestic terrorism, that was a terrorism.
Yeah, I think it's domestic terrorism. I don't think it was because if the terrorists really want to kill some people, you know what I'm saying, when they do it. And then people was also saying that if they wanted to kill policemen, they could have just parked that by the police station.
Right.
Yeah, it's so odd. It was that. I mean, I don't remember making light of it. I mean, I guess you can a little bit because nobody passed. Thankfully,
we don't know that for sure.
Yeah, we don't know.
Well, yeah. That's right. You said they found tissue. I did see that last night. But go back to your point. I couldn't find a lot of coverage on it, so I don't know what the hell is going on. It was Christmas too, so it's kind of like we got other things going on, But that's true.
So I was big enough for me to go to that.
Yeah. When it first came across, I'm like, whoa, like what is going on Christmas Day? Like, but then more and more came out. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Why do it now? Like, what's happening? So, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, for me, not too dissimilar from how you guys have been describing, but like as I told you guys in the group text, like I am trying to make church more a part of my daily routine, and I went praying on Christmas Eve, and obviously I just threw in there like I was just talking almost like with God, just how I pray, like it's almost like a psych sesh, and just saying like, man, I just wish everybody could have just a great Christmas, even if you don't celebrate it, just everybody in the world just have like a peaceful day. And unfortunately, it's just not realistic, like with human beings, and you just know that tragedy is going to happen. And I just can't believe that there's people out here, they want to just blow things up on Christmas. Like, I don't know. I feel bad for people that have to go through that mindset, and I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it at all. Even if this was just to, cause damage and not necessarily kill and maim and whatever, but it's like, why are you trying to just ruin people's lives? What's going on that you feel this is the only kind of like last resort?
Look out the window, man. Look out the window. Like, turn the news on and you see why people feel like, even if it's the news is lying to them, that they have a reason to do stuff like that.
Ken, the last thing that you said, what you just brought, we started the conversation. That's the last thing you saw with the tissue remains, trying to figure out what's going on. That's the latest news.
Yeah, I know that just this morning they were saying that they're trying to DNA test the tissue remains. That's what they're doing, rather. It's DNA testing. So another big thing that took place this week, 45, he did his due and gave clemency and pardons to some of the most corrupt motherfuckers who ever corrupt motherfuckers.
You get a pardon. You get a pardon.
Gotta get the party and the band back together once we leave this house.
So vote for me in 4 years.
To run through a few, you got Paul Manafort. We all know his former campaign chairman got off. Roger Stone, the character of all characters, his longtime buddy, got off. Charles Kushner, Jared Kushner's father, got off. Right, and he already served his time, all right, because Chris Christie locked his ass up.
So he's expunging his record? He's expunging his record.
So he sat there, I saw Chris Christie talking about it. This dude sicked a prostitute on Charles Kushner sicked a prostitute on his brother-in-law and filmed it and sent it to his sister as a way to get her to shut up with her testifying against him. All right, that's what Charles Kushner did. That's how the Kushners get down on that ass. All right, you got Margaret Hunter, is the wife of former U.S. Representative Duckett Hunter, who Trump pardoned on Tuesday along with her husband. She was convicted of conspiracy and misuse campaign funds. Stephanie Moore, a former Maryland police officer, was convicted in 2001 of violating a homeless man's civil rights by letting her dog attack him even though he had surrendered. I think this is Daniela Gonzalez Wagner, a Houston woman, was convicted of $50 million of healthcare fraud scheme. These are the people that he's letting off. Mark Shapiro and Irvin Stinsky. Trump commanded Shapiro and him to sentences after they were, he commuted, after they were convicted in federal court in New York for defrauding more than 250 people of $23 million. Right. And the last but not least, because I want to wrap this up, the Blackwater contractors. That's the worst of the fucking worst. As long as it took to lock them the fuck up, you like let alone these people's life on the line. I'm talking about the people trying to let their asses up, and justice is just spit upon, and those poor Iraqis all right, who I saw one dude on the news. He traveled over here 7 years later to sit there and corroborate and testify because they killed his son, and now that shit is just they just ripped the wound open. That right there, if you think this is a good person, if there's any part of you that still think this is a good man, and you let one of them, the leader, he got life. All right, the other ones I think it was like 12 to 20 years, but these motherfuckers in I think it was like a border cross. I know it seems like a bottleneck. They just started letting off because they was tired of all these motherfuckers around. These Iraqis did not attack them. They supposedly somebody had to pull out a gun to stop the last one that was shooting. The fact that these motherfuckers are out free is ridiculous, and something needs to happen to them. I'm being very serious when I say that too. Something, if justice is right, something needs to, because this is fucking corrupt as corrupt as possibly get.
Yeah. Real quick, anybody that is not aware that is listening, the problem is never street crime. It is white collar crime, and it's this type of shit. Letting go of people that just conduct all these murders or fraud, and it's just nothing. They go back to being powerful men, usually white men, and they just go do their thing of just destroying the country however they see fit.
All right, I'm about to skip all the way to the last one. All right, on Wednesday night, Donnie Wahlberg shared that his co-star Tom Selleck recently left $2,000 a tip for a $204 bill for service at Elio's restaurant in New York City. This is what I believe Donnie Wahlberg said. I found out that my TV dad, Tom Selleck, was generously accepted the 2020 tip challenge at Elio's Upper East Side. Love your dad, Wahlberg posted on Twitter, along with photos of Selleck's dinner receipt and a sweet handwritten letter. The only reason I bring this up is this. Ryan added this to the show. You know that Tom Selleck was using that reverse home mortgage money that your grandmama gave him that he's taking advantage of. Every time I see that commercial, I'm like, Magnum the PI's out here stealing motherfuckers' money and taking motherfuckers out.
Do you guys remember Tom Selleck with the water crisis in California? Like
I forgot. Yes, we did.
And he illegally got dump trucks, garbage trucks to bring in water into his place.
Wait a minute, how long
break the law? When California had like the water limit. Like,
it was a drought.
About a year or two ago.
Yeah. I thought it was like, it could have been that recent. I thought it was like around 2014, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I don't remember that. I know. I agree with that.
So he hired some guys, fill those trucks with water. My plants need them.
My plants and my mustache.
Let me leave you a $2,000 tip though, because I'm a good man.
Is he still doing reverse mortgage commercials?
Hell yeah, them bitches be on all the time. You know what? It was made for Alina. Her husband, a soccer coach, he died. One of his former players came back with an idea, and it was a reverse mortgage. It was the first time a reverse mortgage had ever taken place. You can trust me. I'm like, you lying, motherfucker.
But when you're a waiter, I'll give you a good tip.
So my grandma outside shivering and shit, and this motherfucker's out here giving people $2,000.
Get a job serving me food, and I'll give you a couple grand.
Tom, wait a minute, is that Blue? Is it Blue Bloods or Blue Brothers?
Yeah.
It still come on TV. That's still
Yes.
If you ever try to get into film, but television, get you a CBS show. It's motherfuckers don't go off the air.
Oh yeah, come on.
And they're all the same.
The Entertainer.
You don't even need a variety. You just need Law and Order, like Under the Bed. Oh, that's a great one.
Cedric Entertainer and
Tashina Arnold.
Tashina Arnold. Yes, I thought that show was gonna be on for maybe like half of a season. It's still going. I was like, damn, Cedric, you a smart man. You go to CBS because people.
I thought the same thing too.
What'd you say?
I thought the same thing too, D. Like, this is like going to be a one-run, like one of those Fox shows.
It should be. If you ever watched any bits of it, it's not that.
But it's been on for like 3 years now, right?
One CBS show doesn't get a 3 or 4.
It's for no season. It's like if you like no seasoning, this is the show for you. It's like it's no spice on this shit. But listen,
wow,
definitely want to thank you, Jason and D, for joining us today. We look forward to trying to have more cats come in. We actually, in a way, I didn't say it yesterday. I didn't even want this to be a full crew thing, but D, you mentioned it, and I was like, well, fuck it, because I wanted to focus on you and what you went through. And if we had everybody here, we wouldn't have been able to focus on that. That was the most pressing thing, and because it's important too. I mean, just health wise, people should know about it. Your balls.
I'm not talking about
my last joke. At the end of the year what was it? What was it? What do they call it? A moratorium? When they show all the pictures of
moratorium.
Yeah, memorial. Yep.
Moratorium. At the end of it, they have to put your balls in when they go to black.
Like at the Oscars.
These balls wrapped in the saran wrap, and then they fade out. It's like, and these balls, and then it fades to black. One kid drop, follows brothers. Go ahead, Jason.
Speaking of year end, get a little tease here. Are you planning to do a flip year in review, or is 2022 too bad that we just got to put it on a rear
What
view
do we want
as possible, Ken?
Good question. Afton said to me this morning, she said, so should you do a year in review because of how this year has been, or should y'all do like a New Year's show? As far as
what we want to see.
Yeah, a year in review. Which chair did you sit in for 9 months?
I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, if it's voted on, I'm down for anything. Man, this shit's been hard, and I don't even feel like being on here. I mean, just think about the shit that D's going through like the last month and a half.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And then on that, his boss is gone. But
damn, I see him on the other side.
I know, right? Hey. You be like,
hey, I remember you.
They turn their back on you like you didn't have to do that shit.
No, they're gonna come up to you and be like, "Hey, you got that cream still? Oh, I love that
cream." Well, balls, you know what? Snap.
Actually, I do.
Could you get my back? I can't reach back there.
I'm telling you, man, it warms you up.
But yo, definitely always appreciate it. You know, you can check Sydney out on Second City Sports Center. We are RegalRadio.com. Jason's definitely going to be joining us some more. He has a little bit more time. D, the door's always open to you for you. Don't feel like because you've left that you can't pop up whenever you feel like popping
up. Yeah, I know. Thank you, brother. Hey, listen, man. I'll let y'all know whenever I'm in the neighborhood, per se.
Yeah. So definitely. Go ahead, Ryan. What you about to say?
D is good with content, and we can always use content.
All right. Never hurts.
Use me. Oh, my God. All right.
We've been doing it all along.
I give y'all enough content through the text messages.
Right.
True.
So definitely we'll be back with the show this week. Probably we'll be talking about the Bears game and some NBA basketball. Definitely all the NBA basketball that took place. Probably looking to start angling and get some more. Maybe wait till the new year before we even start really getting guest heavy.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure out our time slot because I officially start working Monday.
Right. So, yeah. Maybe be recording this a little bit later or a little bit earlier.
Yes.
But definitely always appreciate it. Hopefully you all had a terrific Christmas, even if you don't celebrate Christmas, just time off work. And hopefully you'll have a great new year and nothing crazier will take place before we can get into 2021. What if like the first month of 2021 shit really goes to shit? You'd be like, damn, it's coming over too. 2020.
How about the opposite? What if January is just amazing?
What's amazing?
Just in case we don't do a 2020 year review, I just want to. It didn't start off terrible. I gotta say, the biggest thing I remember from 2020 was getting together. Ken, I think you were the one who was out of this, but with so many of the crew getting together in person after so long not at Domity's thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's hard to put for 9 months of just stuck aside, but like gotta remember to stick that in the mind. That was some good times.
That was a good time, Jason. That was. But the top of the year, January is gonna be a shithole. It is.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad to start.
How about the Bears go on a Super Bowl run and that changes everything?
It wouldn't even feel right. It wouldn't even feel right. It'd be.
It wouldn't feel right because it ain't gonna happen.
Not even worth the effort for that.
Hey man, I like to lie. I don't like to lie to myself, Ryan. So I won't do that. I'm not gonna indulge in your foolishness.
Okay, enjoy that glass half empty.
All right. Before we leave out, let's do this the right way. D, go ahead.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Sid.
We gone.
All right. See you later.
There you go.